Here we are, FDR Park, aka the Lakes. Yoma, he's walking Rick the puppy. And today is one of my favorite walks of the year. Oh, we'll be right back after this message from Poop Bags. I went to go use the poop bags, and then Rick started kicking dirt right in my face. This is the day after Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers. Especially my father, who actually watches a lot of the, I think he watches most of the videos, as a matter of fact. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that sound? I'm about a quarter of a mile from the stadiums. And, oh man, oh. That smells like a calendar shot, Rick the puppy. Rick the puppy, where you going? Don't eat that frog. What we're doing today is, this is probably my favorite dog walk of the year, was when we do the lap around FDR Park. It's a magical park. Over yonder is the Swedish History Museum. But the Swedish American History Museum, that's what it is. It's a pretty good museum. It's like $10. If you ever get to a Phillies game early, you can actually go in there, take a little tour. You could park here for Phillies games. If it's a day game, you could park here for free. You could also do that for Sixers day games and Flyers day games, like 1 o'clock games. They lock up the park early in the winter. All right, so the next show here is July 1st. Not Just Jazz at FDR Park. Right here, you come watch not just jazz, but other things. There's a website for FDR Park. This park is massive. It has a museum. It has paddle boats. It has a gigantic skate park. Many, many tennis courts. Baseball fields. Matter of fact, baseball fields that I think like the Phillies sometimes practice on. Well, they did during COVID, like the actual Phillies players. Look at this, Rick the puppy. There we go. And there are the paddle boats in the big lake here at FDR Park. Old school people from old school South Philly, they call this park the Lakes. This is the Edgewood Lake. And right here is the Edgewood Lake Boathouse. It was built around 1920. There you go. If you're writing a book report, which I never want you to. Ooh, there goes a cardinal. I'm filming this in the middle of June. Right? It's the middle of June, and it's like 65 degrees. It's garbage weather. I'm wearing these shorts that are above my knees because that's all they sell now. I didn't agree to this. And so I'm walking around. I feel like I'm naked because I'm wearing these short shorts. Right, Rick the puppy? Come on, go up here. This building was built in 1920. A lot of people use this area for like birthing announcements. People take, Instagram photos. You could even picnic here. Come on, Rick the puppy. Look at that. And you got people. You fish off the pier here. Yeah, this part of the trail, there's always mud here. Even if it doesn't rain, it's always muddy there. Going this way on the trail, going around the lake here. Over there used to be a golf course. I'm not sure if the golf course is still there. There were also, it was like a big wooded area. And recently the city just knocked down these woods, these trees that have been around for over 100 years. Kind of what the city was like back during the pre-1920. This was like over there near Citizens Bank Park. It was like farmland. And you had a lot of pig farmers. I think that was more on the other side of Broad Street. And they had a neighborhood of the city called the NECK. N-E-C-K. There you go. You got the Fairmount. I think these benches were part of the flower show. The Philadelphia Flower Show happened in this park during COVID. And if you walk around the park, you'll see that they have some pretty awesome flowers blooming. And a lot of those flowers are from that flower show, I think. Oh, look at this. Want to check out this garden, Rick the puppy? Oh, it smells nice. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. Come on, Rick the puppy. Ugh. Oh, wow. I don't think I ever walked this way before. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't know, Rick. I feel like we could be murdered back here, right? This is definitely where a serial killer. What? How cool is this? Wow. The greatest park bench in the city, I would say. Oh, wow, that's great. What do you think, Rick the puppy? It's a gamble. Feels like you're going to get murdered, but you don't get murdered all the time, Rick the puppy. Yeah, so I'm not sure what is considered the FDR loop. Is it the car trail or the actual walking trail? And if you follow these biking, there's actually a bike lane in that street. If you come down here on the weekends, sometimes it's super crowded. Sometimes, like during Phillies games, it might not be worth parking here because it's so crowded. It's a pain in the ass to get out of. But there's so many people in this park, and you'll have dozens of families just set up in this park, having like anything from graduation parties to birthday parties to anything, just regular picnics. And then on the other side of the park, they have a Asian market, and that always draws a big crowd. And then they got the tennis courts and the big playground. Yeah. And then, yeah, say if you come down here in the winter time or the summertime, you have so many people barbecuing and grilling out here. You have people fishing down on this side. I think you need a fishing license to fish here. I think that's how it works. I don't fish. The reason why I don't fish, one, it's boring. It's just also kind of cruel to just yank a critter and just come here, and then you take a picture, then you throw it back or eat it. These are the fish you can get: catfish, carp, snakehead. Uh-oh. And then there's all types of birds. You can see blue jays, cardinals, the American robin. Oh shit, have I been thinking robins or cardinals this whole time? Like I said, they use this park for, oh, here's another great bench. Damn. The hidden benches of FDR Park. Rick the puppy, be careful. There's more mud. The hell's that? There's another. Lots of calendar shots happening. Just need to get past the 4th of July, and then we'll start doing the final touches on the calendar. Save the date. The calendar's coming, 2026. Yeah. Not that they have lifeguards at this lake. I don't think I've ever seen anybody swimming in this lake. And would you want to go swimming in a lake that has snakehead fish in them. I don't even know. Like, I don't know about you, like, even when I get in the ocean, it just, there's a lot going on. I don't go very far. I'm not in very long. No, I'm not stepping foot in this shit. Here you go, Rick the puppy, right? Want to get on the lifeguard chairs? And they got cup holders. You can sit here, right? Smoke a jazz cigarette, have yourself a good time. I was thinking there are a lot of gardens in this park. I don't remember seeing so many. Maybe around the flower show you would see, but it looks like they're planting gigantic flower beds all around the park. Look at that, Rick the puppy. Ducks. They don't fear you. They don't fear the killer pit bull. Oh, that one did. Oh, there you go. Now they know. Here's some more. Hot bench action. Well, that's a tongue twister. Oh, this is also another calendar shot. Listen, don't you scare these baby ducks. Walking more. We're kind of in the center of the park right now. Right there's the baseball field, and that is the baseball field of the Philly Dragons. I think they were called like the Taney Dragons. And back in the mid, like 2014-ish, they had a pitcher named Monet Davis, and I think they went into a few rounds into the Little League World Series. It was a big news story. I think Monet, is that her name? She's like a journalist now for ESPN, or a photographer. Now we're in the middle of the soccer fields next to the baseball field. Sometimes you'll see people out here playing the frisbee football. I think they call that sport ultimate. You ever see that? They throw the frisbee around and they play football at the same time. It's really I find it more entertaining than golf and tennis. What do you think about that, Todd? Real athletes play frisbee golf, not tennis. Tennis match, big news. Big news if you're not paying attention to the tennis match. Emmy Award-winning director Kyle Thrash said he would film the tennis match. Over there, you got somebody graffitiing a new piece. We're going to be going to the skate park. You're kind of allowed to graffiti underneath. There's like 2 or 3 spots where they just graffiti can happen, and there's no consequence for graffiti. And I am actually okay with that. If you have like 3 spots where people, because some of the art is really impressive. You have a ping pong paddle and a ping pong ball. They have ping pong tables that you can play with. Now sometimes when you drive your car through the park, especially after a rainstorm, the street gets super flooded. So then cars have to drive underneath I-95 here on it's like the worst paved road. There are dirt roads that are paved better than this parking lot underneath I-95. Back in the 90s, the city was having an issue with skateboarders skateboarding on like statues and monuments. And one of the things when you're a skateboarder, when you want to do grinds, right? Everyone do like a grind, a 50-50 grind, nose flip. Who played Tony Hawk Pro Skater? You got to wax up the concrete to get that smooth surface so you can get that 50-50 McFooty. I'm not really... I love Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I could never skateboard. I had friends. All of my friends were skateboarders. And we would... I would hang out at skate parks all the time. I was in a punk band in the 90s. And my band played here in the 90s. We caused a riot. there was a band who opened up for us, and the singer of the band, they were still building this park. It was like 1991, I tell you what happened that day. The Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers. And the guy who opened up for us was on I-95, and he hung jumped from the column into a big pile of dirt. And after, when I got on stage, I just said, listen, you jerk-offs, I'm not killing myself to entertain you people. Here we go. Look at this. This is the bar. Sometimes they have concerts back here, and they have like a bar. They have a lot of punk shows. Sometimes there's hardcore music, possibly the hip hop. Oh yeah. But so anyway, I got on stage, and when you go on stage and you call people jerk-offs, like I'm not killing myself to entertain you jerk-offs. Sometimes people get offended, and then they started throwing stuff, and then my fans started throwing stuff at them, and it was fantastic. The streets flooded, Rick the Puppy. However, will we get back to the car? It's the worst. It's real deep. Look at that cone. If the Toy Story characters were hiding from the big fat toy collector, and they were hiding under, they would all drown. They would all be dead. There's the skate park. And this whole area is pretty much everything built here is built by the skateboarders, and they maintain this area themselves. I've been documenting the skate park about 6 years, and this area is always the sketchiest. Come on, I don't even want to walk under here. I'll show you why. Where's it at? Oh, they got rid of it. Oh no, here it is, the coffin. Alright. I just don't feel like that's OSHA. OSHA approved. In support of life, this sculpture stands as a marker, as a reverent petition to the creation of life. There you go, right in front of the coffin. Yeah, and also, you see how like they play Jenga with these blocks to hold up that ramp? Cowabunga, Rick the Puppy, huh? One time I did a, what do they call it, a drop-in. I got on top of a ramp. It's probably about this high. And you try to drop in off a skateboard. And I fell. And it hurt. And I said, I'm not doing that again, ever. And that's probably the only time I ever skateboarded. Look at that, that's a good one. Looks like my buddy Calvin. One time I did see a snapping turtle. Ow, God damn it, I stubbed my toe in the goddamn bricks. Lollapalooza was held in this park. If you ever saw that clip of the band Rage Against the Machine, where they were like naked with a sock, that happened here. Oh, that's the Dick Allen Field. That is the Dick Allen Field. We have confirmation. And just in case you forgot, let me take this time to remind you that the Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champions. That guy drove through the flood. Now, if you go around this area, this is where the Asian market is held on the weekends, and all different types of foods, and check it out. It's actually a good time. Philadelphia is very diverse, and I'm very, when it comes to food and pretty much food and drink, I just like what I like. I drink one thing pretty much. That's seltzer water. I drink seltzer water. And then every so often I'll drink a non-alcoholic beer. And, but I never brought, but once in a while I'll drink a Coca-Cola. Let's get crazy, right? Let's have a can of Coca-Cola. But, we went to this food truck the other day, me and Mrs. Captain, and I had this stuff called horchata, and it changed my life. I'm gonna try some new things, right? I'm gonna try horchata. I'm gonna come to this Asian market, and I'm gonna get some good food. What do you think, Rick the Puppy? You don't give a shit. I usually do this walk in April when nothing... Ooh, hit the camera with the puppy. Nothing is in bloom. And I was waiting for the, you know, everything to pop open, everything to be green. There's another garden. They're really doing a good job of fixing up this park. I had myself a pretty nice Father's Day. My kids are in their 20s, and I am getting ready to turn 50. And I'm already learning that it's starting to, that number 50 is kind of scary. And I realized that my kids are, you know, they're getting older, and so am I. And I will not be able to carry my children much longer. Or maybe not. Maybe I could change that. Maybe I just keep working out and stay strong so I can pick up these kids. So anyway, for Father's Day, my kids got me some t-shirts, and they got me a six-pack of this non-alcoholic beer I love, and I got to hold them for about 15 seconds. I held them like a baby, and then yeah, that was it. That was my... And then Mrs. Captain got me the Dave Matthews Greatest Hits on Vinyl, which I absolutely love. It's 2 records, and I absolutely love the first record, and the second one, it actually has a few good hits, but the first one's, that's going to be on repeat a lot. I don't know what it was. Back in the early 90s, I used to listen to a lot of punk rock, but for some reason, I loved Dave Matthews Band. And my friends, all my punk rock friends, very judgmental. They would always mock me for liking Dave Matthews and Bruce Springsteen. Oh, that skate park, Bam Margera. And all the guys from CKY, they go down there. Every so often, you'll see pictures of Bam skating in that park. And I think it's incredible that anybody in their 50s skateboards. Because you know Bam Margera wasn't drinking a lot of milk. Well, maybe he was drinking a lot of milk. I would just worry about breaking bones. There they are, Todd. Look at this. Ooh, that's a deadly backhand. Who taught you that? Arthur Ashe? Woo! Oh, it's over, cuz. Let's go. Oh, that's out. That's out. That's it. Come on. You ready for the match, Todd? Now, my friend Waldo, I'll tell you what he does. Sometimes he'll park here in this park for Phillies games, and I think he told me he drives through the pavement. I don't feel like that's very legal, but he does it. I feel like the curb is super high here too. Dude, that curb, you can see how many people have done that. Look at all the oh my God, so many people have done that. It's a high curb. And this is the entrance at Broad and Patterson. And for the last few months, this whole area was fenced in. You couldn't really walk through here. And they got bike racks, new seating. Yeah, this is history, because look, the back of this bench was not installed yet, and you could say, wow, I remember when that bench didn't have a back. Right? It's history in the making, Rick the puppy. Pretty much, I think this was just like one piece of black asphalt that led you into the park. So all of this, everything you see here, I think the trees may have been here, but this part right here is completely new pavement. And then here's the new sign, Rick the puppy, wake the kids, shake the neighbors. Who sits here? Nobody sits here. Across the street, that's where the old vet stadium used to be. There it is, Rick the puppy, the FDR Park sign. Across the street, that's the Philadelphia Eagles practice area. That's where the, just quick reminder, Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl this year. What a good time. Right here. Look at this. They have dog do bags. You don't need to buy poop bags. They supply them for you. Yeah, so this whole section of the park just opened recently. And then this just opened. This whole building over here, that got completely renovated. New roof. It looks fantastic. And it's the, what, I don't know what it is. It looks like it has a sign. Maybe they're going to be doing something with this. But look how beautiful this pathway is. And right down there, that's Patterson Ave and Broad Street, which is one of the busiest streets in the city. Right near I-95. A few miles from the Philadelphia International Airport. This is the guardhouse office. And I wonder, if you go down in this direction, not too far, you'll be at the Philadelphia Navy Yard. And I never, was this park once part of the Navy Yard? Let me know in the comments. We're here at the Welcome Center, and this gives you an idea of how big this park is. You got the Edgewood Lake, the South Meadow Lake, the North Meadow Lake, and the Patterson Lagoon. There's also a creek and another, 2 lagoons. I didn't know there was a lagoon here. There's the skate park. And these are all trails that you can walk around with your family. Plus, you have the playground right here. Oh, look at this. It says, welcome to the lakes. That's awesome. That's like the only time I've ever seen any acknowledgement that people call this area the lakes. Another ping pong table. Boy, I don't remember any of this building. Maybe this part was just built recently. It's so beautiful. It looks so new and modern. And you go over there, you got the lake. They really fixed up this park real good. Inside this space, I'm sure the city's going to have it so you could probably rent that space for weddings and all that stuff. That's what they do. They also have a thing in the city of Philadelphia. It's called SIPs, and that's when they take over the parks. There's a portion of the park, and the city takes it over, and they rope off that portion of the park, and people can drink legally in public spaces. Look at this oddly planned steps. What we'll do is we'll build these steps, and then we'll plant a meadow right in front of it. No one could use them. That's a brilliant idea, Jim. There it is, the lakes. I love it. That's going to make some old school South Philly people real happy. I don't know. You got to take time to smell the roses, even though they're not roses. FDR, one park for all. Sponsored by Comcast and the Philadelphia International Airport. Sad day. I don't know about you, but I have an incredibly tough time getting rid of my t-shirts. This is an Austin 316 t-shirt. A hole in the belly. So it's gonna be the last time we wear this t-shirt. I have so many t-shirts, but a lot of them are from events, so I just have a tough time tossing them because they're like not only a t-shirt, they're a souvenir. And some of the things that they're souvenirs of are like events. Like I have a Pennypack Park Festival t-shirt that I bought in Pennypack Park. Like that doesn't exist at Pennypack Park anymore. And I also wore that t-shirt when we were filming the movie. So I'm like, I can't get rid of the movie t-shirt, but it has a big hole in it. Gotta throw it out, right? Throw it out. Had myself a good Father's Day. I hope you guys did too if you celebrate that. Fuck it, I hope you had a good Sunday. Me and Todd, we were watching the David Washington podcast. It's called the KDJW5. Make sure, let's help David get over 1,000 subscribers. Let's help him. Let's subscribe to David Washington. And me and Todd were just going back and forth in the comments. This is the Anna Verna Playground. This is the playground. Just recently built. There's a lot of people in there. We're going to not go over there. But this has the largest swing set in North America. I take my grandson here every so often. Don't you hate when a band opens up with your favorite song? Because that means like the rest of the concert, and my favorite Dave Matthews song is Ants Marching. It takes me back to the summer. I lived at my grandmother's house in Northeast Philadelphia because my parents were moving from Port Richmond to the Northeast. And my grandmom had cable, and I would watch MTV, and MTV would play like the same 22 music videos. And my favorite, I love that song, Ants Marching. Anyway, I saw Dave Matthews Band play the Vet, and they opened up with Ants Marching, and that was it. That was pretty much. There was another band I love called Lucero, and I only like one band. Well, I only like one album from Lucero. It's called Smoke, and yeah, whenever I see them at concert, they don't play anything off that album because I think the singer hates the way his vocals sound, or he has a tough time singing those songs. Also, there's another band I love called the Nobodies. What is this? There's a band called the Nobodies from Colorado. They were on the show Bar Rescue. They were on the TV show Bar Rescue. There was a bar called the Triple Nickel in Colorado. And JJ Nobody owns it. And my favorite album of the Nobodies it's called Short Songs for People with Short Attention Spans. And it's top 10 punk albums of all time. And the lead singer of that band, who honestly can't sing, was upset with the way his vocals sounded. He's like, I don't like the way my vocals sound. And this is how he sings. He goes, "Look at them girls, be like Taylor Wayne." That's how he sings. And he was upset with the way his blonde hair and blue eyes, he really turns. That's actually, if you don't know the Nobodies, just know that's a killer impression. Just like this is a killer calendar shot. Oh, somebody's going fishing. They got a can of corn. That's the bait my dad used when we went down to, what's it called? Oh man, this is pretty. Where did we go? What's it called? Not the boat launch. The fish hatcheries. Ooh. Get rid of that leaf up there. Ooh, that's a calendar shot. Well, listen, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please share. Also, why not get a Rick the Puppy t-shirt? Rick the Puppy t-shirts are available. Also, we got the Here We Are, the Philly Captain. So many t-shirts. We also, Father's Day is here and gone, but we're still doing cameos. I do them all year round. I've got over 100, I think it's over 125 star reviews. I have one of the best streaks going in cameo history by request. I've been doing cameos for 3 years, and I've not missed one because I always do them and get them back to you in a timely manner. So book me on Cameo. Also, Rick the Puppy, that's a big dog. He could eat you. He could eat you. Who else do we got? Patreon. Hit Patreon. You got an early preview. I dropped a video today on YouTube. Fun fact, that video is 2 weeks old, and if you're a Patreon member, you got to see it first. All right, Rick the Puppy. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Come here, Rick the Puppy. Rick the Puppy.
What's up, Captain? Put that dog on a leash.
He's on the leash. He's supposed to be getting in the car. Come here. Get in the car. See, he's well behaved.
Yeah, he is.
He's not. Toodles.